Jokes and laughter. You're the campus clown in your college. The cool and funny man. You love making everyone laugh, and everyone love you because you make them laugh. Girls always wanted to be close to you and be your friend, and that's your biggest problem. You always end up being a friend, even with your ex-girlfriends. You get asked on a date a lot, but it often goes nowhere because they can't see you getting serious about anything, especially not with relationship, but they're wrong. So wrong. A woman once made you stop joking and just listen. She was Kayla de Guzman. You and Kayla met back when you were a high school senior, and she was a student teacher. She was 6 years older than you, stoic and strict. No matter what jokes you made, she never cracked a smile. This made you frustrated. Kayla was not the prettiest girl. She was shorter than you and she looks nothing like 22, she looks younger. She cleverly hid this beauty behind her lousy and dorky way of dressing up, paired with Victorian-style updo which reminded everyone of the great-great-grandmothers. This intrigued you. During one of the school break, one of the girl in class grabbed you. Hey, can you do a Jim Carrey impersonation? You beamed up ready to imitate the actor but stopped when Kayla walked by. Excuse me, you said instead and chase after Kayla. You walked past her and stopped in front of her and acted in a way that made all the girls who saw it laugh, but not her. Kayla's eyes traveled up and down on you and say, if you need toilet, the toilet's over there. She then arranged her textbooks and bag, and left you there to be embarrassed of yourself. However, after a moment, you inspected yourself. Legs squeezed together, ass up and arms crossed at your chest. You laughed. It does seems like I need to go. Kayla turned around, surprised but with a smile that immediately vanished the moment she met your eyes. But in that short moment, warmth spread through your heart. She smiled at you. It was the first time since she started student teaching almost 4 months ago. She only had a week left, but seeing that smile made you satisfied, also oddly left a hole in your heart. Asterisk. The next day Stephen, your best friend, stood beside you by the window as you space out while waiting for Kayla to walk by. What's wrong? Stephen asked. Nothing. You pulled out your phone and pretended to scroll through Readsy's weekly writing contest from the previous week. While most teenagers spend their time on the latest trending social media, you secretly read stories online. Something is up, Stephen said, snatching your phone. He looked at the story you randomly open and put the phone back to your hand. That's not the kind of stories you read. You looked at the title and skimmed through the story. Stephen was right. It was not the genre you like. You sighed and tucked your phone away. You're right. Know it, Stephen said, proud of himself. Everyone has been saying that you haven't been making jokes since yesterday. What's going on? You know, Kayla. Mr. Guzman, Stephen corrected. You groaned. Ever since Stephen found out of your obsession to make Kayla laugh at your antics, he has been encouraging you to stop addressing her at her first name. Kayla demanded the same thing in the beginning, but she gave up when you only do so if someone else was around. Calling her in such a formal way when you're alone with her make your skin crawl, but only Stephen knows that you still call her on her given name. Stephen spoke again. So what's with Mr. Guzman? Are you pissed again that she didn't laugh at your jokes? No, she didn't, but she smiled. Steve, I made her smile. The memory made you chuckled. And that smile felt priceless, it made me content and warm inside. But then I remember, she only has 3 days with us. She won't be coming here again from next week and my heart feels empty. Stephen covered his face. Oh, no. No. No, buddy. You don't want to go there. Go where? I'm not talking about going somewhere. Stephen lowered his voice so only you can hear. I'm talking about your feelings for Mr. Guzman. You furrowed. What feelings? Dude, you're... Kayla round the corridor to your class and the rest of Stephen's words faded. Kayla in her over-the-knee skirt and oversized sweater paired with high socks. She totally got the dorky look, adorkable as you like to call it. She will be in your class to teach English, but you can't wait that long. You rushed out of the classroom despite Stephen's prevention. Good morning, Kayla, you said walking beside her. Good morning, she replied without looking at you. This annoyed you a bit, but you keep going. You know, you're better off as a painter than a teacher, because you colored my life that I hadn't known was black and white. Kayla stopped and looked at you. Your heart skipped a bit at the sight of her face. She got dark puffy eye bags and her eyes were moist as if she was about to cry. A child like you know nothing about living in black and white. The pain you saw in her eyes made you apologized and in return made her say sorry too before scurrying away. Again, she left you there to wonder what you were feeling. When Kayla showed up for English subject, both of you avoided each other's eyes. Asterisk. Friday, Kayla's last day in your high school. Ever since that strange confrontation with her at the corridor, she made a point of avoiding you. You did not chase her either. You weren't hurt, but she slapped you with a truth you've been doing your best to deny. You've fallen for her, but you're nothing but a kid in her eyes. You stopped making jokes the rest of the week and no one bothered you about it thanks to Stephen, who have been keeping an eagle eye of you. Kayla ended English period early and made a simple goodbye speech. She thanked everyone for giving her a chance to teach. You had your chin on your desk, passionately looking at her, admiring her every word, but she never turned your way. Kayla collected her things when you noticed the class representative stood up and went to Kayla. She handed Kayla a heart-shaped card. You glanced to Steve beside you. Isn't that yours? Kayla opened the card while Stephen ignored you. The day the class representative gave it to Stephen told you that it was a love letter from the class representative, but now he obviously lied. A horrible feeling formed in the pit of your stomach. And the feeling was confirmed when Kayla closed the card. She looked directly at you with a heartbreaking expression. You grabbed Stephen's arm. Steve, what have you done? Stephen looked at you apologetically. Sorry dude. I know it was wrong of me, but I couldn't let you know. If you did, I know you would have written something that can get both of you in trouble because someone else will read it before her. Steve, you said between gritted teeth and clenched fist. You wanted to punch him, but he was right. If you had known the card will be given to Kayla, you would have done something irreparable. Kayla tucked the card with her things and swept her gaze to the Who class and smiled. Thanks again everyone. Study good. Her eyes locked with you and you were sure her next words were for you, remember me. Goodbye. The bell rang and Kayla practically ran out of the classroom. You shot up from your seat but Stephen grabbed your wrist. He casually shook his head, but your desperation must have shown in your face because Stephen let you go with a warning. Just be careful not to get caught. You nodded and casually strolled out of the class. Once you were out of everyone's sight though, you sprinted toward the faculty room. The teachers were shocked to see you, but one of them scolded you for running and getting in without knocking. You should be in class, he said. I'm sorry sir, but I need to see Mr. Guzman. One of the female teacher looks at you and blushed. She's at the principal's office. If you hurry you might catch her before she goes. You smiled at her. Thank you ma'am. She beamed at you. Good luck. You nod and turned to go and heard another teacher asking, what was that all about? Young love, said the teacher who informed you about Kayla. Asterisk. You plucked one of the white roses on the way to the principal's office and hid it under your shirt. Kayla already left the office and headed toward the opposite direction carrying a box. You picked up the pace and walked beside her in no time. If Kayla was surprised to see you, she hid it good because you saw no trace of it. What are you doing here? She asked. I forgot to give you something. What? My heart. Your eyes caught the heart-shaped card. You reach for it before she can stop you. I want to write here too, you said and grabbed a pen from her box and ran off. Hey wait. She called up following you just as you wanted. You went to the back of the school. A popular place for couples to hide. The green grass made a comfortable carpet while the bushes hide what should be hidden. You sat down on the grass and opened the card, reading a bit of the goodbyes and well wishes from your classmates. Steve's handwriting stood out. It says, someone close to me will hate me for not letting him write, but we both know it's for the best Stephen. Idiot. You said and wrote under his writing. Too bad. Stephen is mistaken. I can never be stopped. If you're still single next time we meet, it means you waited for me. You still haven't signed the card when Kayla appeared and took the pen from you. She then took the card too and put it back in the box. She turned but you grabbed the hem of her skirt. She glanced at your hand and with a perfect poker face said, what? Don't tell me you want to steal my skirt this time. You chuckled and laughed but didn't let go. With you, I'm always the one ending up laughing. Because I'm an adult. Kayla reached out to remove your hand but you caught it instead. You look up holding her hand. Using your other hand, you took out the white rose from your shirt. Will you wait until I become an adult? Her face flushed. What are you? You know what I'm saying, Kayla. You stood up, put the rose in her box and took it from her. She let you. You sat down and placed the box on the grass. She sat down on the other side of the box, letting you know the border you both mustn't cross. Since when? She asked, barely a whisper. I don't know, but I figured it out that day you snapped on me. Kayla lowered her head. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. No problem. Why were you crying? I was not. You were. You got large eye bags and got eyes red as white rabbits. Kayla laughed. My parents didn't agree with me being a teacher, so I lied to them about my course. I revealed my secret the night before that day, and I got into a big fight with my mother. You nod. You have no idea what to say to make things better, so in the end you simply sat there and listened to her story. And how much she loved teaching. What am I doing telling you all this? I should go. Kayla grabbed her box, but you held it in place. Thank you for telling me. And for whatever it's worth, I think you're a brilliant teacher. Your parents will see that sooner or later. Kayla's eyes watered. Tears streamed down her cheeks with no sounds, and you was up and beside her in no time. You pulled her close and let her cry on your chest. When her silent cries died down to sniffles, Kayla pushed against you. I guess I should rethink about my profession. She undid her buns and let her curls conceal her face. You tilted her chin up with your index finger and felt a rush wash over you. Kayla looked more gorgeous with her hair down, more than you imagined. Using your thumb, you dried her cheek. Why? Well, for once, I failed at being an adult when I'm letting my student comfort me. You wanted to kiss her there and then. You have a feeling that she would let you, but you held back and started joking. This time Kayla laughed. But you know, both of you are holding back, hiding the words you wanted to say through jokes and laughter. Oh well, I should get going. Kayla took the box and stood up. You should go back to class too before everyone wonder where you went. Yeah, you replied. She nodded and turned on her heel. You stood up and watched her getting farther away. Just say it, you silently reminded yourself. You knew you'd regret it if you didn't. You took a deep breath and called out, Kayla. She turned to face you and you notice her hand on the card. Yes, I love you. Kayla flashed you the sweetest smile as the wind blew the untangled strand of her hair across her face. Then she says, I'll be waiting. Asterisk. You were 19 when you decided it was time to see Kayla. But of course she already graduated. Worse, she deleted her social media accounts and seemed to have vanished. 2 more years later, and here you are, 21 years old and unable to move on. You dated someone else, but you know that Kayla is still the ruler of your heart. You jumped at Steven's side that Friday afternoon right after the exams. Let's go bar hopping. I'm not sure. You're still depressed for being dumped by Anya? The best way to get over it is bar hopping. Steve laughed. I'm not depressed, okay? Besides, I realized it's better this way. Even better. Let's go bar hopping to celebrate. Steven laughed. You really want to bar hopping, isn't it? You grinned. Yup. You glanced at the 5 girls behind you. I already promised them, so I can't back off now, but I feel bad to be the only man in the group. Okay. Let's go. Asterisk. You just stepped out of the first bar when a familiar face caught your attention. She didn't turn in your direction, but you're sure it was Kayla. She no longer looked dorky, but she got the power to bring you back in time. Dude, what are you waiting for? Steven asked with one woman in each arm. You guys keep going, I need to be someplace else. Steven followed you gaze and he too recognized Kayla. Go get her, dude. You nod and left it to Steve to explain the situation to everyone. With your heart banging against your chest, your feet matching its quick rhythm as you slide through the crowd and grabbed Kayla's arm. She looked at you and gasped, You've grown taller. No. You're just tiny. She looked around. Everyone else was her height or lower. She left her retort hang in the air. You sighed. She's good at tormenting you as ever. Okay. I'm a giant. Satisfied? She laughed and you felt a stab in your heart. Why did you vanish? I looked for you. Kayla looked at you. I wanted you to be sure if you truly love me, if it was just a teenage admiration. It's not. I still love you. Are you still single? Yes. Her cheeks instantly turn rosy as the sun set behind her. I never had any boyfriend after we parted. She fidgeted, and you were loving every minute of it. But as much as you wanted to enjoy it, you've waited long enough. You cupped her cheeks and bravely pressed your lips against hers. I'm back. She laced her fingers behind your neck and kissed you back. Welcome back.